Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, April the 8th, race number 8 at Tampa Bay Downs. We're going a mile on the turf. It's a maiden special weight and a competitive one at that. Before we get started, I want to remind everybody, check out the new DRF mobile PPs at DRF.com. View DRF PPs anywhere, anytime with true mobile access and the exclusive lifetime buyer speed figure graph. Try them today. DRF.com/MPPS. Let's meet the field for race number 8 at Tampa Bay Downs. Again, it's a very competitive maiden race. You can download free formulator past performances for this event on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us. Pretty competitive group, Mike. You've got a couple of layoff horses, Gulfstream Park Shipper and Heavenly Peace with a solid buyer speed figure, and a first-time starter from Christophe Clement with a nice pedigree.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. A lot of lightly raced horses who, at least at this point, Dan, you can still hold out some hope for that maybe they'll continue to get better. And you have a very interesting firster for a guy who is very good with first-time starters.
Have to agree with the Timeform US pace projector. Speed expected to come from the inside post. That's Twirling Star, who's stretching out off a 5 furlong race. Second off the layoff, you have to think Daniel Centeno is going to take advantage of that rail draw and go.
Yeah, I mean, she does look like she has enough speed to make the lead from the rail, Dan. I don't know how good she is. That was my, major concern with her, but she's second off of a little bit of a layoff here and stretching out. And maybe getting to the lead will give her best chance to take this field a long way. I didn't love her. We'll see what happens.
Let's watch her most recent start. It was her first start of the year. It was a 5 furlong race, and she had to come from out of it. She was next to last in the early portion, but she rallied solidly to finish second. I thought it was a step in the right direction for this filly. Second start of the form cycle, again with tactical speed. I think she has to improve a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if she gets to the lead and relaxes. Maybe she could last for a minor award.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like it would be her best chance. Again, I thought she ran, fine in that race, considering they cut her all the way back to 5. But it didn't really do anything to make me feel like, the 2 other prior turf routes that she ran in, didn't, make me want to necessarily excuse them. I didn't think she ran that great in those races.
Heavenly Peace up from Gulfstream Park, second-time starter for trainer Eddie Keneally. Nice pedigree. The Dam was a Grade 3 stakes winner on the turf, and I thought this filly ran well, steadied a little bit, I thought, going under the wire the first time, ended up in mid-pack, came out. I thought the trip was just fine, but I thought she ran well against a decent enough field with a solid figure, and this just looks like a really comfortable spot for her.
Yeah, probably just in a better spot here. She didn't run great first time out there, and I thought she was really green early in that race. And then as time went on, she just didn't really do that much in there. She just sort of went evenly. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. She was a huge price in that race. She'll be a much shorter price this time. I just sort of looked at her and felt like she had a chance to take a step forward in what looks like an easier spot.
Number 3, Clear as Day. Nice pedigree here for this daughter of Sky Mesa. The Dam was a multiple stakes winner on the turf. This filly's a half to a Group 3 stakes winner in England. She's a 4-year-old, perhaps not as much upside as some of the others, but I think that last race is just a throw out at 2-1. That was a very fast pace. She was close to it, and she tired badly. Her overall body of work, you go back 2, 3, 4 starts, it puts her in the mix.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you're right. She has a great pedigree. That Damn Much Obliged could really run. She ran second 3 times in a row back at, early last year and then off the layoff. I guess you'd want to maybe be a little forgiving for that race in January. It was off a long layoff where she blew a clear lead in the stretch. I guess I just didn't really love her other turf races, Dan. I mean, not that she ran terribly. I just didn't think she ran that great. And she felt like a horse who would take money in here. I'll put it this way. I'm not way against her. I wouldn't take a short price on her.
Good trip likely to come, though, on this horse. 7-2 on the morning line. She might be able to sit second off of Twirling Star in the early portion. Kitten Empress trying turf for the first time. This horse has some turf in the pedigree. Obviously, the stallion Kitten's Joy was a turf champion, 13% winners with first-time turf runners. And although the Dam was 0 for 9 on the turf, you go back in this family, and you see some big names like Sing Spiel and Rahi. And the last race over a synthetic surface, listen, maybe that's not going to be her cup of tea. The runner-up came back to run second with a 58 buyer, third with a 54. I wouldn't be surprised if this horse takes a slight step forward on the turf.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised either. Like you, I really like her pedigree, but she's done absolutely no running in her first 2 starts. Considering that she does have some pedigree behind her, I mean, they bought her for $7,000. It feels like there's a real hole in this horse. And that doesn't thrill me, but at a big price, if you liked her and wanted to take a shot, I wouldn't argue with you.
Lots of European turf influences in the family of the five. Tourists like me going out for trainer Vicky Oliver. Formulator fact for this barn: over the past 5 years, horses aged 3 and up making their second start in a turf route maiden special weight race. 25% winners at $2.63 ROI. You expect this filly to improve off the debut. She's a half to a Group 2 stakes placed horse in France. The dam was a stakes winner on turf in Germany. I wonder if maybe more distance down the road for this one.
I wonder too. I do suspect this horse will run better here, though, Dan. Just didn't break that great first time out, and then didn't do all that much running either. But maybe we'll just do a lot better, as you pointed out with that formulator fact. Vicky Oliver tends to do better. First time out, her numbers are not great. They're a lot better second time out.
Texas Promo Girl is the number 6. I think we could expect a little bit improvement for this filly. She made her one and only turf start sprinting at the fairgrounds. She was just outrun early and wide. She has shown some speed in the past, and I think she could be closer to the pace than Timeform US gives her credit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she was more forward either as she stretches out on turf here. Listen, just another horse, Dan, who didn't thrill me. I don't really like either of her races. I do think this is the kind of field when you're going through it that, you probably want to keep an open mind with some of the bigger priced horses, and she'll be a big price. I just didn't really see that much to like.
Shig McGahee sends out the 7 Windfall Profit. This filly is a half to Profiteer, who was a grade 3 place turf runner. The dam was a multiple grade 3 stakes winner going long on the turf. First 2 starts in New York did not yield high buyer speed figures, but I'm wondering if maybe we can give her an excuse or two. We know Shug usually doesn't have them cranked and ready to go first time out. And in her second race, I thought she was in and among horses most of the way, tried to bull her way out in the stretch, and then she faltered in a race where the 4th place finisher came back to win with a 71, then won the Teppan and off the turf stake with a 67, and then just ran 3rd in the Fairgrounds Oaks, and I won't hold the Laurel Dirt race against her. We have a formulator fact for Shug and Windfall Profit. Past 5 years, horses aged 3 and up, moving from dirt to turf and adding Lasix, 5 for 14 with a $4.25 ROI. Maybe this filly can't run at all, but I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt based on her pedigree.
Yeah, I mean, I could certainly see looking at her that way. We'll see what kind of price she is. I guess that's what I would hold out for, just to see how much money she takes. The argument for her is obviously, she did, to me anyway, didn't run well in either of her first 2 turf starts, considering the trips that she got, because I thought she got good trips both times and just didn't really run. But she was obviously just facing much better horses than this. This is a way easier spot, and with a little maturity, Lasix on, I won't be surprised when she runs a lot better.
Bourbon Rebellion, another horse trying turf for the first time. By Shanghai Bobby, only 7% winners with first-time turf runners. Dam unraced on the turf. This is the first foal to try. Dam's a half-sister and not Bourbon, who was a good synthetic horse. Multiple stakes winner on that surface. Second Dam, multiple stakes winning dirt sprinter. Not enough turf for me to take a shot on her, trying the surface and trying 2 turns for the first time.
Yeah, I tried to talk myself into this horse, Dan. I didn't think her debut was bad at all, sprinting on the dirt. I do wish there was a little bit more turf pedigree, because that would have probably pushed me right over the top and tried to take a shot with her. But at a price, I'll use her somewhere.
Gaelic Gold is the number 9. Let's take a look at a formulator fact for Christophe Clement. Past 5 years, horses aged 3 and up making their career debuts at Tampa Bay Downs in a maiden special weight turf route, 10 for 36. That's a $3.31 return on investment. This filly is by Giants Causeway. Half to Seafoam, a multiple stakes winner on the dirt. Dam, though, is a nice horse on the turf. Grade 3 stakes winner. She's foaled 1 foal to win on grass. This horse's attributes speak for themselves, Mike. You've got Clement, you've got a pedigree. You've also got a pretty sizable gap in this work tab.
Yeah, the work tab is a little bit concerning, but overall, I think you just sort of trust Clement in these situations. He tends to have his first-time starters ready to run. In addition to that formulator fact you put up, Dan, I think 3 debut winners already at this Tampa Bay meet on the grass. He just tends to have these horses ready to go. This horse has a ton of pedigree. Even though her best foal to date, Seafoam, has been more of a dirt horse, he ran well on turf. They only tried it a couple times. He ran well on. I'm just going to suspect that she'll be there on well.
Screen Image completes the body of the field, and I guess we can give her a mulligan for the last race. Heck, she hadn't run in about a year and a half, and she kind of just ran around the track. I think we can expect a little bit of improvement from this mare, but she's 5 years old. This is only her 7th lifetime start. She has a lousy post position. Minor award might be her ceiling.
Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at her too, Dan. Maybe somewhere underneath, just because she's second off the long layoff now for a very good trainer. Her form back in 2018, it wasn't terrible. I mean, the 2 turf starts, the one in June and the one in August, I didn't see any excuses for her in those races. That's what I just don't really like about her. I thought she had her chance in those races and just wasn't quite that good, but I could use this horse somewhere.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Wednesday DRF race of the day. Mike, Heavenly Peace, the number 2, 4-1 on the morning line for Gallardo and Keneally. Wouldn't be surprised if she works out a decent trip from mid-pack while saving ground.
Yeah, I just hope she gets a better trip. Again, I just thought she was really green first time out, Dan, and I'm hoping that maybe that was sort of a learning experience for her and she'll take a step forward here.
She's my second pick in this race. I'm hoping that the number 7 for Shug McGahee improves with the Lasix. That's Windfall Profit. I don't know. Again, we've seen Shug horses improve with maturity. This horse is 6-1 on the morning line. I think she's going to take a little bit more money based on her connections, based on the fact she's coming down from New York and Laurel. I'm going to give her an opportunity in here. I went 7-2-3-1. You're going 2-9-7-8. It's the Wednesday race of the day. It's the 8th at Tampa Bay. It has an approximate post of 4 o'clock Eastern. Good luck.